Okay, so first, why don't you just tell us about the move you guys are making for the football game?
Well, due to the foreseeable inclement weather, we decided that it might be best for us to move the game up, just because the weather is going to be difficult to try to get the game in, and it's important for us to get the game in, and it's important for us to play. It's important for our team to get more reps, and that's the reason why we decided to move it up that early, to make sure we could get the game in.
Yeah. Was weather the only factor you took into consideration to move the game?
Yeah, weather was the only factor. Last week there was 3 games in the NCAA that got canceled, so we wanted to make sure we got those games in because it's very difficult to reschedule. So by moving the game up, we realize it may be an inconvenience, but the main thing is that we get the game in.
Yeah. How much rain do you have to see on the radar to actually make a move like this?
It's not so much the rain. It's really not the rain, because you play in rain. It's the lightning that's the issue. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't get into a situation where we got the teams out there, get all warmed up, get out lightning, then you get 30 minutes, and then we get to play again, and then another 30-minute lightning strike. So that's not good for any of us. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for our players. So we wanted to make sure we were trying to avoid the lightning more so than the rain.
Now, this is a really big move to make. So who all do you kind of keep in the loop? Who all do you communicate with while you're kind of discussing making this move?
Well, obviously you got to deal with the teams first. You got to deal with the visiting team, deal with the officials. You got to make sure you have officials there, and then just a lot of university folks to make sure that they're aware of what's going on with the game, parking and security and emergency folks and concessions and all the things that you think about when you go to the game that you really don't think about. You just kind of show up and it happens. But we have to make sure that we contact all those people and they're aware of it. So that's what we've been doing all morning.
How long from kind of first talks to final decision does that last? Does that take, making this decision?
Oh, I think it was probably a 12-hour deal. We knew the weather was going to be bad yesterday early, and then we kind of really ramped it up the last 12 hours. So again, you try to get the best possible information you can from the national weather folks and local weather folks like yourselves, and then you make the best decision you have. As you all know, weather is hard to predict, so we're thinking we're doing the right decision based upon the information that we have.
Go ahead, sorry.
So what time are the games now?
It's at 11 o'clock tomorrow, Thursday, 11 o'clock a.m.
How's that going to affect class for tomorrow?
Well, depending on if you're a student coming to the game, then you just have to figure out if you do have a class, you probably should go to class, and then hopefully you get done with class, you can come to the game. Our football team and the visiting teams, they get that worked out in terms of if they have to miss a class, they get excused for it and they have to make it up. But for our patrons and for our fans and for our students that are actually going to class, we encourage them to go to class, but then if they don't have class, then hopefully you can get to the ball game.
So no classes are canceled due to the game?
No, absolutely not. No classes are canceled.
How's this going to affect traffic and maybe work with Springfield Police on traffic? And that
Yeah, and we've contacted them, and hopefully it'll be minimal. At that particular time, people are at work, or if they decide they're going to take work off, we've got plenty of parking. I know students will still have their parking as well as faculty and staff, but we've got our parking structures and another parking that will be first come, first serve. So it'll be a little bit inconvenient. It's not the ideal situation, but we hope people will look past that, come out to the game, and then the number one concern is we get the game in.
Now, would you make this move for just a regular season game, or is it because it's the home opener that you're kind of really pushing to get?
No, it had no bearing the home opener. It was just the lightning was the biggest thing. It was weather, regardless if it was a conference game or a non-conference game, first game or last game, we'd still be making the same decisions.
If somebody bought a ticket for tomorrow's game, just a single game ticket, thinking they'd be off work, now they're not, do they have any recourse, or are they just kind of out of luck if they can't make it?
No. What we're going to do is they're going to be able to exchange that ticket. We won't refund it, but they can exchange it. So if they can't make this game, they can use that to come to another game, or if they're going to come to every game and it's an extra game, we can give them an extra ticket for that to have somebody else come. So, but we want to make it as easy and smooth as we possibly can. We don't want to be out anything at all and be disgruntled, but we realize that 11 o'clock is tough to come to. So if they have a reason or they have an interest to come again, we certainly will let them come again for free.
What kind of pregame festivities do we have going for the first home opener?
Well, those pregame festivities will be eliminated because it's starting so early. So Bear Fest Village will not be going on. If you come and you park and you come early, you can still tailgate at your parking location, but But Bearfest Village will not be up and going because that's right in the middle. We've got school going, so we want our students to go to school. School's not canceled, so Bearfest Village won't be up and going this game, but it'll be up and going the remaining games.
Sorry, man, no, you're fine.
Go ahead.
Have you been a part of a cancellation, not a cancellation, but a rescheduling like this in your career before?
Yeah, we've had two that I've been a part of since I've been here. One, we were at Kansas State, if you recall, 2 years ago, I believe, and we got till halftime, and then it was just it was lightning all over. We had to cancel that game. I think my first year here, or my second year, we played Eastern Kentucky, and we had a Saturday night game, and we had everything. We had snow, we had hail, we had rain, we had lightning. It was like Armageddon, and we played. We canceled it that night Saturday and played Sunday morning. I think at 11.
Yeah, it was a Thursday game. We played
Thursday
Friday.
game we played Friday. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We played Thursday and then we rescheduled. They had to spend the night. We played at 11 o'clock Friday morning. So that's an unusual case as well. So it's been done before, and we just wanted to make sure we got the game in. The biggest thing was us to get the game in, and that's the most important thing.
How difficult is it to actually reschedule a game? Let's say you tried to do it Friday and you got rained out. How hard is it to actually reschedule the game?
That's a little bit more difficult because you've got two schedules you have to look at. You have to have an opening for your schedule, and then the visiting team has to have an opening. That makes it very difficult because you have to have the opening on the same date. That usually doesn't happen. So again, it's easier to reschedule an existing date and change that time than it is to reschedule a complete game based upon your schedules.
How big of a heads up do you have to give to the opposite team? I mean, because they're having to travel from how long of a heads up you have to give them?
Yeah, I think the beauty about this particular game, it's Lincoln and they're close. If it would have been, a team that had to fly in, it would have been much more difficult to coordinate. Now they would have been in town, so therefore they probably could have, decided to go at the time that we decided. But I think it helps that the team was local, and Lincoln's been great to work with. John Mosley, who's the AD there, has been great to work with. So I appreciate his cooperation. But I think it makes it easier when the team is somewhere closer you can drive to.
So,
Anything we're missing here, guys?
You got it.